Hmm.
Sir, Rohit is telling he has network issues, sir.
Who?
Rohit, sir, GVS Rohit.
Okay, okay, no, yeah, I understand because he's not responding. Then only I thought he's having some issue, no problem. Okay. Okay, all of you can see this screen? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm just going to revise this concept binary eutectic phase diagram, then we will proceed further. So as I have already told you what this binary eutectic is. Binary means two, eutectic means the two components that we have added is not soluble in the solid state. They are completely soluble in the liquid state in each other, but they don't have any complete solubility in solid state. They have only limited solubility, okay, in each other in the solid phase. Okay, so that type of components or component system is known as eutectic system. So these are the examples of binary eutectic system. So if you are taking copper and silver, then you are going to get this eutectic diagram. And if you are going to take lead and tin, then also you are going to get this eutectic diagram. Okay. So here, rather than taking any specific example like copper and silver, lead and tin, I have taken a general example. So I have taken two components A and B, and they are forming eutectic system. So this is the temperature axis and this is the composition axis. Here A, pure A, this line represents pure A, means here at this point A is 100%, B is 0%. Now we are keep on adding this percentage of B is increasing along this composition axis. Okay, and when you plot this temperature and composition and phases present in the system, you are going to get this type of diagram, and this is known as the binary eutectic phase diagram. So whenever anybody is going to ask you draw the binary eutectic diagram, so you have supposed to draw the this type of diagram. Okay, you just have to draw this type of diagram. And we have also learned about the isomorphous, in which we, let me take the pen. Okay, so when anybody will ask you, so you will simply draw like this. Okay, so if somebody asks you to draw the eutectic diagram in general, so simply you draw like this: temperature axis, like this is alpha, then this line is the eutectic isotherm, then this is beta, then the point where this two liquidus line meets is known as the eutectic point. Okay, so this is how you are supposed to draw when someone asks you to draw eutectic diagram. This is our temperature axis and this is our composition axis. Here 100% is A and here 100% is B. Here C is not the C but composition. Okay, so C is the composition. Okay, now tell me what this eutectic point is. Yes, tell me the definition of eutectic point. Yes, anyone? Anyone can tell what this eutectic point is? Many times I ask you, don't try to remember each and everything. If it is not possible, okay, try to understand the concept. Diagram is in front of you. Eutectic point you are seeing. You have to define this point, and this is very simple. Okay, so let me tell you how you can define this. I have told you this many times. So you can see this eutectic point is nothing but the point where two liquidus line meets each other. So this is the liquidus line and this is the liquidus line. So the point at which two liquidus line meets each other is known as the eutectic point. Okay. So you can see here this line is nothing but the eutectic line. This red color line I am drawing. Sorry, this is the liquidus line. This is also the liquidus line. So these two are the liquidus line, and the point at which this liquidus line meets is known as the eutectic point. So this is the first definition. Also there is second definition. You can say that the point about which liquid changes to two solid phases. And if you can see, if I want you to draw, if I want you to write the this equilibrium phases present at this point. So how you will write? At this point, what is happening? If you take this composition alloy like this, so if you are taking this composition alloy and if you are in the liquid state and I ask you to draw or write the equilibrium phases that is present at this point, that is eutectic point. So you can write at this point what is happening, liquid is changing into two solid phases, that is alpha plus beta, alpha plus beta. So here you can see liquid is everything above this point, above this line, everything is liquid. Everything is liquid. And here just above this point is liquid. By the time you cool it below this eutectic point, what will happen? This liquid is going to convert into two solid phases. So whatever be the point, wherever not in the eutectic, any phase diagram, whenever you see one liquid is converting into two solid phases, so you can call it as a eutectic point. Okay, so this is the definition of the eutectic point, where one liquid phase is changing into two solid phases. So here alpha is the solid phase and beta is the solid phase. So where liquid phase is changing into the two solid phases is known as the eutectic point. And what is this line? Yes, let me draw another line and ask you. Okay, so tell me what this line represent. Yes, this orange line. Yes, what this orange line represents?
Solidus line, sir.
Solidus line, correct. Okay, so if I ask you to define solidus line, then how you can define? Yes, anyone? Yes, Vaibhav, how you can define this solidus line? Vaibhav, can you define this solidus line? Anil, Anil H, Bhuvan, Bhuvan CR. Yes, Bhuvan, are you there? Bhuvan CR, can you define this?
Sir?
Yes, Anil. Can you define this line, orange line? So what you have to do, you simply see what is happening across these lines. So along these lines, what is happening? Liquid and solid phases, liquid and solid phases, alpha is in equilibrium with another solid phase. Okay, so whenever one liquid and one solid phase is in equilibrium with one other solid phase, then we call it as a solidus line. So the same thing happening over here also. This is also the solidus line. One liquid and one solid phase is in equilibrium with other solid phase. So this is how we can define this solidus line. Okay, so this is the liquidus line, this is the solidus line, and one more type of line is there, and that is known as the solvus line. So let me mark it with green color. Okay, so that's why I thought to repeat this portion. Okay, because many of you haven't understand. Okay, so let me try. Hope you. So this is the another type of line shown in green color. So you can see this line, green color line. Tell me what this green color line represents. Yes, Arjun, you tell.
So solvus line, sir.
Solvus line. What is the definition of solvus line?
So it's a line which separates one like alpha region from alpha plus beta region.
Okay, so it's better to call the line which separates one solid phase with two solid phases, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is the much better definition. So the line which separates one solid phase with two other solid phases. So you can see this line, and if you have come across this line, you will find one solid phase is converting into two solid phases. So such type of line is known as the solvus line. So here you are having solvus line. This is solvus line. The similar thing you can see over here. This is also the solvus line. Okay, so this, let me mark this arrow over here also. So these two lines are the solvus lines shown in green color. So here also you can see whenever you are going to move downward from here to here, one solid phase, that is beta, is going to change into two solid phases. Okay, so that is known as the solvus line. Okay, so can you tell me the composition of A and B? Yes, I am asking a question to all of you. Tell me the composition of A and B where the melting point is minimum. Yes, a question I have asked. Tell me the composition of A and B where the melting point is minimum. Yes, anyone can tell? What composition of alloy, that is A and B, should we take so that we are able to melt it at a minimum possible temperature? Anyone?
In alpha region, sir.
No, I'm asking you. First, listen the question very clearly, carefully. Tell me composition of A and B. Okay, so you have taken some composition of A and composition of B. Now you are heating it up. Now tell me what composition should we have chosen for A and B so that when we are going to heat it up, they are going to melt at minimum temperature. Yes. Now let me show you here. Okay. So let me erase these things. Okay. So I have erased all the things. Okay. Now I asked you to take A and B so that we are coming across this line. Okay. So let me take this some other color. Okay. Now tell me, suppose I have taken this composition of A and B. We are here, suppose we have added 20% of B and the rest is A. Now when you are going to heat it up, where you are going to melt it? At this point. This is the melting point, correct? Because what is the melting point? Above which everything is liquid. So this is the melting point. Okay. Now, if I will take this composition, the melting will be here. Now, if we will take this composition, the melting will be here. Now, if I will take this temperature composition, the melting will be here. But if I will take this composition, you can see we are having melting over here. Okay. And if you are taking any other composition of A and B, any other, okay. So if you take this, so you are going to find the melting over here. If you will take this composition, the melting will be here. Now, can you tell me, is there any point other than this point which is at minimum temperature? So this is at the minimum temperature. If you can see here, so this line, this point, let me draw it with green color. So this point is at minimum temperature. So this is eutectic temperature. Let me call it TE. Okay, can you tell me any other point which is in liquid phase? So here you see everything above this is liquid. So if you take this composition and start hitting it, so as soon as the alloy reaches this point, this temperature, it will convert into liquid, complete liquid. So that is the definition of the melting point actually. Okay. So that's why this eutectic diagram is very important. You can see here, if you have taken 10% B, then this is the melting temperature for the alloy. Okay, if you have taken this composition, then this would be the melting point of the alloy. If you have taken this composition, then this will be the melting point of the alloy. But if you will take this composition, okay, if you have already studied this diagram for any eutectic phase diagram for any system, and if you have selected this composition, then you can find you are able to melt your alloy at the minimum temperature. Okay, so here you can see if you are going to take this composition, you can melt your alloy at a minimum temperature. So that is known as a eutectic temperature. And this composition is known as eutectic composition. Okay, because this is the eutectic point. Yes, any doubt so far? Yes, anybody is having any doubt? Yes, please tell me so that I can move forward.
No, sir.
Okay, good. Then we are going to move forward. So this is the importance of this eutectic diagram. You have seen that at lower composition of B, you are having this higher melting point, but there is a composition of A and B where you are going to get this minimum melting temperature. Okay. So let me erase this. Just a minute. Okay, so let me go back and choose the different slide. Okay. Okay. So these are some important points related to the. However, I have discussed all these points, but still I just want you to see it once. Okay. So let me show you these important points. Okay. So the important points are, okay. So you can see that the first point in binary eutectic diagram, three phases are present, three single phases are present. Okay. Out of which one is liquid phase and other two are solid phases. So in total, we are having three phases in the binary eutectic system. One is the liquid phase and the other two are the solids and okay, other two are the solids only. Okay. Solid phase alpha is the solid solution of B in A. Okay. So you have seen alpha. So that is nothing but the solid solution of B in A, means B is added in A. There is another solid phase that is known as beta. That is nothing but the solid solution of A and B. A in B. That is nothing but A is added in B. The line above which liquid phase exists is termed as liquidus line, that I have already discussed in detail. What is this liquidus line and what is this solidus line? The line above which solid phases exist is termed as solidus line. Okay. Now the boundary across which one solid phases gives two other solid phases is termed as solvus line. So we have seen that. Okay, we are having three types of lines in this binary eutectic diagram. One is having this liquidus line, the line above which everything is in liquid state. We are having this solidus line, the line above which our phases are in solid phase. Okay, or you can say that the line across which one solid phase is in equilibrium with one liquid and one solid phase. Okay, so just you don't have to remember, but the thing that you have to remember is the phase diagram. General phase diagram you remember and you can do everything. So if anything is in confusion, then simply draw this diagram, and check what is liquid, what is solid. This is incorrect. You have to be very, very careful while drawing this phase diagram. Okay, so simply you have to remember this diagram so that you can point each and everything. Simply you have to draw this type of diagram, and if you know this is solidus line, then you can tell that this line is nothing but where one solid phase separates one liquid and other solid phase. Okay, so you have to remember this diagram rather than remembering all these things. You simply remember this diagram. Okay, so let me move forward. Okay, I have already discussed much of the things. Okay, now the point at which two liquidus line meets is termed as eutectic point. So this we are knowing. Okay, this we have discussed many times. What is eutectic point? The point at which two liquidus line meets. And this is also known as invariant point. When I am calling any point as an invariant point, that simply means that degree of freedom will be 0. It means the point will be invariant point, means at that particular point we are not able to change any of the parameter, neither pressure, neither temperature, neither composition. Means at that point everything will be fixed, every variable will be fixed. That's why this degree of freedom is coming as 0. Now how this degree of freedom is coming 0? We have to go to the Gibbs phase rule. Now this you know that eutectic point, this happens that one liquid phase is changing into two solid phases, correct? So this we know at this eutectic point. So this we know that at eutectic point what is happening, one liquid is changing into two solid phases. Now if you remember Gibbs phase rule, if you remember Gibbs phase rule, or better call it as a condensed Gibbs phase rule, not the general Gibbs phase rule, but condensed Gibbs phase rule. Gibbs phase rule. Yes, who will tell what is the formula for condensed Gibbs phase rule? Yes, anyone? Yes, what is the formula for Gibbs phase rule?
So P plus F is equal to C plus 1.
Correct. P plus F is equal to C plus 1. So this is the formula for Gibbs phase rule. So from here you can show that the degree of freedom at this particular point is 0. Means if any of the transformation is happening at this point, so everything will be fixed. Neither you can vary temperature, nor you can vary composition, nor you can vary pressure. Okay, pressure is already fixed. We have taken pressure as fixed only. So here you can see that how many phases are present in this. How many phases are present? Yes, anybody? Yes, anybody can tell how many phases are present here? If this transformation is happening, how many phases are present? Three phases are. Yes, one is the liquid phase and other two are the solid phase. So in total, at this point, the transformation, when there is a transformation, three phases are in equilibrium. So one is the liquid phase and these two are the solid phase. Don't take this as one phase. These are different solid phases. Okay, in this amount of A is higher and in this composition amount of B is higher. So these two are solid phases but different solid phases. So in total we are having three phases over here. One is liquid phase and two others are solid phases. Okay, so P here is equal to 3. Now tell me about C. What is C over here? Yes, anyone?
2, sir.
What is the value? Yes, value of C will be 2 because in the entire system we are only having this A and B. Okay, if you take copper and silver, then in the entire system, whatever be the phase you are taking, so we are only having two components. Each and every phase is made up of two components only, either copper and silver, or you can say A and B. Now just put this value of P and C into this equation. So we'll find that, so you can write this equation as F is equal to C minus P plus 1. C minus P plus 1. So see here 2 minus 3 plus 1. So you can see here, from here you can say that degree of freedom is 0. So whatever I have written over here, degree of freedom is 0. So I have shown you how this degree of freedom is 0. Okay, so this eutectic point is also known as invariant point. Just remember, this is very important term. Invariant means you cannot vary any of the variable. So if you cannot vary any of the variable, it means they are fixed. So if I will take this example, if I ask you, tell me in this system where this eutectic point we get. So you have to tell the composition, temperature, both are fixed. Okay, so you can say that at 71.9% of silver and at a temperature of this 798, say, we are going to get this eutectic point. Okay, and this you cannot tell about any other point in the phase diagram, in this eutectic phase diagram. Okay. So at this point only this special reaction, that is liquid is changing into two solid phases, takes place. Okay. So I hope the things are clear to you. Yes, any doubt so far? Yes. Bhuvan, are you there? Bhuvan, CR? Bhuvan, are you there? Yes, Duleshwar
Yes, sir.
Prasad. Bhuvan is there. Bhuvan?
One, I don't know, sir.
Okay, no problem. Okay. Okay, so Duleshwar, is it clear? The things are clear?
Yes, sir. All clear, sir.
Okay. Okay, so let me move forward the things. Okay, Okay, so now we will see one of the questions. Okay, so we have already seen much of the questions in the isomorphous system, but here also we can calculate whatever we have calculated in the isomorphous system. The same things we can calculate in this eutectic system also. Okay, so let me show you the example. Okay, so this we have already discussed in very detail when we are talking about this isomorphous diagram, but still I'm going to have a one numerical problems on this binary eutectic phase system. Okay, so here you can see a 40 weight percent tin. So here we are having this lead and tin, lead eutectic system of lead and tin. Okay, and you can see here, just a minute, I want to minimize this. Okay, so here what I'm doing, so here you can see this percentage weight of tin is increasing. It means here this lead concentration is 100%, and here as we move along the lead percentage will increase decrease and tin will increase. So here we have 100% tin. Okay, and these are the binary eutectic phase diagram of this lead and tin system, and this is our liquidus line, this is our liquidus line, this is our solidus line, this one and this one is the two solidus line, and this is our solvus line. Okay, now the question is a 40 weight percent, so this is the 40 weight percent tin, 40 weight percent tin and 60 weight percent lead. Means if I will give only 40 weight percent tin, then you are supposed to think, yeah, the rest will be lead only. So a 40 weight percent of tin, so this is the 40 weight percent of tin. Alloy is at 200 degrees Celsius. So you go up, see where this 200 degrees Celsius is. So here is, you can see here we are having this 220 degrees Celsius. Okay. Yes, so just correct it. Here this is 220. Okay. This is not 200, I think. Let me check once. Yeah, this is 220 degrees Celsius. Let me correct it over here. Otherwise, you people will get confused. So this is not 200, this is 220, 220 degree Celsius. Okay. So you can see here, we have taken 40 weight percent tin alloy, and we have heated this alloy to 200 degrees Celsius, 220 degrees Celsius, 220 degrees Celsius. So this is the point we get. Okay. So this is the point we have got. So this point is in which region? Liquid plus alpha region. Okay. So you have already know. So this region is liquid plus alpha region. So the first thing we want to find out is phases present. Yes. Yes. Who will tell what is the phases present in this point? When the alloy or when the system will be at this point, what are the phases present? Yes. Anyone? What will be the phases present when this alloy is heated at 220 degrees Celsius? Which means the alloy is in this region. So this region belongs to which phase? Which one?
Two phase, sir. Alpha plus liquid plus alpha region.
Yeah, correct. So this point you can see here, this belongs to this region, and this region is nothing but the liquid plus alpha. This is nothing but liquid plus alpha. So the first problem we have done. Now composition of phases. So if you remember, in order to find out the composition of phases, what we have to do? Suppose this is the point, and in order to find out the composition of this alpha phase, draw a line parallel to this composition line. Okay, so we draw a line parallel to the composition line and see where this point cuts this line, this solidus line. In this case, this is the solidus line. So you draw a horizontal line. You can see here, this is the point where it cuts the solidus line in this case. Okay. Now move downward. So you can say that this is the composition of alpha. So this is nothing but 17. So here you can see we are having two phases, and the composition of phases means, let us first write the composition of alpha phase. So the composition of alpha phase will be equal to 17 weight percent. 17 weight percent. Okay. Now if you want to find out the composition of liquid, then what you have to do, you have to see where this line is nothing but the tie line. This line is nothing but the tie line. If you remember what is tie line, that is nothing but a isotherm. Okay. So here, if you want to find out the composition of this liquid phase, so you see where this tie line cuts this liquidus line. So here you can see this tie line cuts the liquidus line at this point, and when you move downward, you can see here you are going to get 46%. So the composition of liquid will be 46%, 46 weight percent. So this is very simple. So this is the second problem. If you find out the composition of alpha, you find out the composition of liquid. Okay, simply by drawing the tie line. Now relative amount of each phases, you have to find out how much amount of alpha is there and how much amount of liquid is there in this particular condition. Okay, so that is also very easy. You can apply the lever rule at this point. Apply the lever rule at this particular point. So amount of alpha, let's say weight fraction of alpha will be given by liquid arm, because alpha is solid, so we will take opposite arm. So that is nothing but liquid arm divided by total arm. Liquid arm divided by total arm. So what is here? So you see, this is the point where you have to find the amount of phases. Okay, so this is the liquid arm and this is the solid arm. Okay, this is the solid arm and this is the liquid arm. And if you have to find out the weight fraction of alpha, then you have to take liquid arm divided by total arm. So this is nothing but the liquid arm. So you can see this is liquid arm, you come downward, so this will be the liquid arm. So this we can find out by taking 46 minus 40. 46 minus 40. So from here to here this is 46, from here to here this is 40. So difference between these two will get this liquid arm. Divide by total arm. So from here to this point, the entire length of this tie line is the total arm. So this is nothing but 46 minus this point. What is this? 17. So when you solve this, you will get weight fraction of alpha. Similarly, when you want to find out the amount of liquid phase, you will take this here, solid arm divided by total arm. Now I request this Anil H to find out, yes, find out the amount of liquid phase. How you can find out the amount of liquid phase? Yes, tell me. You have to find the amount of liquid phase. Just tell me the value, weight fraction of liquid phase. Yes, Anil. Okay. Yes, Rohit. Rohit, can you listen me? Yes, Rohit. GVS Rohit. Your problem is resolved.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Rohit. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Rohit, tell me how you can calculate the weight fraction of liquid at this point. So you can see that at this point we are having liquid and alpha. Weight fraction of alpha I have told you how to calculate. Tell me what is the weight fraction of liquid? So let me help you. Weight fraction of alpha is given by liquid arm divided by total arm. Weight fraction of liquid will be given by solid arm divided by total arm. Solid arm divided by total arm. Let me write total arm with TA. Okay. Now tell me what is the value of solid arm? Yes. What is the value of solid arm?
Sir, 46.
No. Just tell me the value. Solid arm. Where is the solid arm? This is the solid arm. This blue color is shows the solid arm. Now you come downward. You just see. This is the solid arm from here to here. This length is the solid arm. So how you can find out this length? So you can see from here to here, this is 40, and from here to here, this is 17. So in order to find this distance, you can say that this will be equal to 40 minus 17. Is it correct? Yes, is it correct?
Yes, sir.
Because this is the solid arm from this point to this point, and this point you can see if you draw a line over here, so this is nothing but 17. If you draw a line like this, so this is nothing but 40. So this is nothing, so you have to find this distance. Okay, correct, because this is the solid arm. So this length will be equal to 40 minus 17. Now what will be the total arm from this point to this point? What will be the total arm?
Sir, 46 minus 17.
Correct. 46 minus 17. 46 minus 17. So when you are going to calculate this, you can find out the weight fraction of liquid phase present at this particular point. Okay, so you need to know how to apply this in order to find out the various questions. Okay. So I hope the things are clear. So I have already discussed all these things in very much detail when we are talking about this isomorphous system, but still I have planning to take this questions. Okay, so I have solved these questions based on this binary eutectic diagram. In any of the diagram, whether it is unity system, binary system, okay, or tertiary system, we can apply these rules in order to find out the various things. If you want to find out the phases present, you can find it out from the diagram. In order to find the composition of phases, we are supposed to use tie line. For the composition of phases, we use tie line, and for this amount of phases present, we use lever rule. So these things keep in mind. For composition, we use tie line. For amount of phases, we use lever rule. Okay. So for amount of phases, we use lever rule. Okay, so let me go forward. Okay, we still have. So all of you, please mute yourself. Voice is coming. Okay, so we have seen that. Okay. Now the very important aspect of this binary eutectic diagrams comes into picture. That is the development of microstructure. How this microstructure develops in the binary eutectic system. Okay. So there are 4 cases we are going to take. Okay. In total, we are going to take 4 cases. Okay. So we will see how this microstructure development takes place in the binary eutectic system. Okay. Now, this microstructural evolution is very easy. You can very easily find out what microstructure will be present. Okay, at which point. Okay, give me a minute. Okay, so here in the microstructural development, what we will do, we will take a composition, a fixed composition of alloy, and we will heat up to the melting point. So here everything will be liquid. Now, as we move downward, we will see when this alloy cools, what phases we are going to get at various locations. So that is nothing but the development of microstructure. Okay, now the first thing. Okay, so let me tell you one more thing here. Okay, so this thing, okay, so let me use this green color. Okay, so as you know that this is our eutectic point. This is our eutectic point. This is our eutectic point. Let me write it with E. This is our eutectic point. Now, the composition which lies between these 2 points, between B and between D, is known as hypoeutectic. This region is known as hypoeutectic. If I say I have taken an alloy with hypoeutectic composition, then you must able to understand that we have taken the composition in between these 2 points. Okay, so if I will say that I have taken a composition of this alloy A and B of hypoeutectic composition, then you must able to understand that we are talking about the in this region composition only. So the region between these 2 points, from eutectic point to this point, so this point is nothing but where solidus and solvus line meets. Okay, so this point and this point, the distance between these 2 points is known as hypoeutectic. Hypoeutectic. Let me write it clearly. Just a minute. Okay, so let me write it again here. So this region is known as hypoeutectic region. Hypoeutectic, HYPO, hypoeutectic, eutectic alloy. Okay, now if I will take any point beyond this, okay, the region between these 2 points, from eutectic point and to another side of this, so this region is known as from here to here, from here to here. If I will take any composition of the alloy between these 2 points, then this is known as hypereutectic alloy. Hypereutectic. If less than eutectic, hypo, more than eutectic, hypereutectic. Hypereutectic. So these things you have to understand. So these are the technical terms that you are supposed to know. Okay. So many of the times people, when the examiner or when an interviewer will be there, so they will simply say that take an alloy in the hypoeutectic system. Then you are supposed to understand that he is asking about this region. Okay. So you can take any composition between these 2 region. Okay. So you can take this composition, you can take this composition and take this composition also. Okay. And if he will say that take any composition between hypereutectic, then you can take any composition between these 2. Between these 2, you can take any composition. Okay. So In first case 1 is we are talking about the alloy which has composition less than this point. Okay, let me first erase this. So we are already running short of time, so I will not continue today. I will take these things in the tomorrow. Tomorrow we are having class. Tomorrow we are having class. No, I think, yeah, tomorrow we don't have any class. So Thursday I will deal with this development of microstructure in binary eutectic system. Before that, I will request all of you to go through the slides and see what it actually means, so that you will be able to understand it very clearly when I will discuss these things in the next class. Okay, these things are very simple. The things is only you have to follow me. Okay, and try to understand the things. Don't try to remember the things. Okay, when you try to remember the things, you are not able to recall it. But when you are going to understand the concept, then you can recall it very easily. Okay, so I request all of you, don't try to remember, try to understand the concept. Okay, then so today we will stop here, and we will see you tomorrow. Let me download the attendance. Let me see how much of you have present. Just a minute. Okay, then yes, shall we stop here for today? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so today we will stop here and go through the slides. And if you find any difficulties in any of the slides, if you want to understand any of the concept again, then please let me know and try to understand all this concept here only. Don't leave it for another days. Try to understand here only, and I can make you understand very easily the things. But the things is you have to ready getting the things. Okay, if you want to ask n number of times, then you can ask to me, but the thing is you have to make effort for that. Okay, then we will stop here. Okay, bye bye, see you in the next class.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay, Arjun, bye bye.